Welcome back to your favorite weekly Dragonflight guide. Hey, it's Soul, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catching me live on Twitch. Let's start off with some hotfixes in case you missed them. Remember recently there was that manuscript from the Outland Cup that gave you a toggle that let you randomize your round appearance? Well, in an effort to make this ability account-wide, it's been changed to a toy, where using it from a character applies a buff that achieves the same effect, and this is great! I'm just kidding, here's why. Unlike the ability, this toy is not a toggle, it's got a 1 hour cooldown, and while I never got to test the original ability out for very long, this new buff doesn't persist very well. From reports, it falls off when starting other dragon riding races, and it does not persist through death. So, long story short, this toy needs the cooldown reduced from an hour to like a second to match the original functionality of the manuscript. That alone will mostly fix it, and I don't see any reason why not. Other hotfixes from this week include big nerfs to the Rise of Murozon's side of the Dawn of the Infinite Dungeon. The big mobs around Tyr got a sizable health nerf, and the Infinite Rift Mages got both a health and a damage nerf. Tyr himself had his barrier damage reduced, all of this to make the first part of the dungeon much faster. The Time Lost Battlefield encounter also got a hit, with the boss moving even slower during their Blade Storm, and the buff that they get from killing NPCs has been reduced. Finally, the last boss also received nerfs. His big tank buster deals less damage, the infinite keepers that spawn have less health and damage, and Morchi is apparently perfect as is. Still should be a very welcome set of changes to what's been often described as the toughest dungeon to time this season. The Outline Cup is just days away from ending. Now's the time to finish your collection, and here's a little tip. It's not a very useful tip, but just something to keep in mind. You can use multiple alts and complete the initial quest, the Outland Cup Circuit, that nets you 80 badges to buy stuff with, and so far at least this quest is not account shared. You can do this for just the badges, and buying cosmetics on each alt, and then going forward, only use your main to go for like the good times, the achievements, and so on and so forth. Now, by doing this the one time, you're gonna almost always be kind of ahead on badges, ensuring that when new appearances are added, you can buy them up straight away from your one main character going forward. We're entering a new month in just a few days, and if you have not finished your Traveler's Log yet, you get bonus credit for completing objectives. Be sure to pick up your tender and handy dandy watch, then stay tuned to this channel for the next Trading Pros preview where we'll find out if FOMO is truly dead. Time Walking is back this week, and this time it's Cataclysm. Jump into Time Walking dungeons and complete 5 in a quest to receive some champion level raid gear. Complete the Firelands Time Walking raid for champion level drops and a piece of hero gear at the end. Out of the 3 Time Walking raids so far, in my opinion at least, Firelands is probably the most difficult, with requiring some familiarity with the encounter mechanics, as mindlessly zerging it will most definitely get you killed. Classic Ashran is the brawl this week, where you zone in, you wait a little while, and it's done. And later this week, the Lunar Festival holiday begins. One of the big parts of this 2-week event is to zoom around the world collecting coins of ancestry used to buy all sorts of cosmetics and fun stuff. I'm not sure if there's anything new to be introduced this year, but the holiday is gonna feel different, as this time we have dragon riding to take us from stop to stop. I'm going to include a Wowhead guide in the description, as well as a link to a useful add-on, Handy Notes, that'll tell you where to find these coins. And over in Mythic Plus World, the affixes are Tyrannical, Entangling, and Bursting, which ain't so bad. Tyrannical Bursting is far better than Fortified Bursting. Now, Tyrannical Entangling can be low-key dangerous. Entangling is easy to avoid, but it can be a distraction if it overlaps with an important boss mechanic that either slows you down or forces you out of position when you don't want to. Entangling is also sort of a newbie check. Make sure when you're running away, you don't end up running into like another pack or patrol. I do that like all the time, so don't be me. Just this past week, Blizzard as a whole endured a brutal set of layoffs that fortunately doesn't look like it's going to affect WoW development. Now, the same can't be said for customer service or community management, but we'll just have to wait for the dust to settle. Hopefully we'll see a bit of positive front-facing news for us this week with things like the Trading Post preview and what lots of people are waiting for, news on 10.2.6. I'm convinced at this point that this patch is like all about flags, right? It's gonna be flags, flag quests, flag features, new flag gear, player housing, but it's all flags. We'll find out what's up soon, and I can't wait, but if it's bad news, then I'll wait. Whatever the case, join me here on this channel by subscribing, like this video, and show some support, and catch me live on Twitch. It's always fun to talk with folks. Thanks a bunch for coming. Let's have Bob take us out. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.
Hey look, it's a new month, come and join me. We're gonna do collecties. Cause tender is my breakfast, tender's what I breathe. Tender is the loot I collect from the corpses. Tender's running through my veins, tender's both my pleasure and pain. It's like coffee, tender's in my cup. Suddenly it's not cause I bought things. Check me on my badass broomstick mount. Got my tender than your mama can count on.